the nature of our life is we do not know what is going to happen in the next moment. Life is unpredictable. Life is mysterious, and that is what makes the life more and more interesting. No matter how good you are, no matter how talented you are, there are some times, and there will be some times, that things won't go in your way. Life will give you hard kicks. Life will give you tough lessons. I know in those times, we all feel like giving up. We all feel like quitting what we are doing. But you have to remember one thing. Everything that is in life is impermanent. Nothing is permanent. Not even your pains, not even your problems, not even the troubles that you go through today. It is going to change one day. Keep that in your mind and believe in it. This is to everyone who is going through tough times in your life. Please do not ever quit. Don't give up. Because the pain you go through today, the troubles you face today, the problems you face today is just a chapter in your life story. It's just a page in your life story. It's not your whole life story. Remember this. If you were to tell your life story in front of thousands and thousands of people after one day you become successful, if you were to tell a nice and a simple and a soft story, no one will be inspired with that story. The more you face troubles, the more you face problems in your life, the more tough your life becomes, your life story will be more interesting. And one day, your life story can be a survival guide for someone in out there. Remember this. So whenever you're feeling down, whenever you're feeling like giving up, whenever you face problems, I need one thing for you to do. Go out and help someone. This is not something that you hear oftenly. Go out and help someone when they feel down. Okay? Give a helping hand to someone when they are feeling troubles and when they go through tough times in your life. Because you have to believe that what you give is what you get. Right? Even though you are going through tough times in your life, you must be willing to help others because that gives the happiness. Right? The more you face troubles, you can understand how others feels like it to go through tough times. Okay? So when you feel down, always try to help someone. I know how it feels like to constantly fail, and I know how it feels like to constantly fall and be unsuccessful because I have been through that situation. Okay? So help someone, help people, right? And also do not ever give up. Sometimes you have to be patient because things get time to work out. Okay? Things take times to get better. Okay? Remember, great things take time to be successful. Okay? Do not believe in quick and instant results because we are so used to this instant world. Because in this instant world, we need everything instant. Okay? This world is built up to give you everything instantly. The outer sources, when you log on to social media, it comes instantly. You can take something instantly. You can know about something instantly. You can download something instantly. But in real life situations, things are not instant. It takes time. Successfulness takes time, right? Happiness, it takes time. Peacefulness takes time. Relationships to build up, it takes time. Nothing is instant in real life. You have to wait. You have to be patient. So in those times, we feel anxious and worried, right? We feel stressed. But remember, when you feel stressed, when you're tired, it is okay to rest. But it is not okay to quit. Because as long as we live, as long as we survive on this earth, as long as we have our lives, we can have a chance to be successful. We can be better at what we are doing. So this is to everyone who is going through tough times in your life. Believe that one day you're going to be happy. One day, you're going to be proud about yourself if you focus on yourself and if you work on yourself. So keep in your mind, no matter how tough the situation is, never ever give up. Keep moving forward. Namo Buddhaya.
One of the core teachings that we find in Buddhism is to understand the pain and suffering as a part of life, and also to see the suffering and the pain as it is. But this is easier said than done, okay? Because most of the time, when we go through painful feelings and painful situations in life, we used to worry, we used to become frustrated, and we fall down mentally. But the Buddha offers us a different way of thinking to see this pain and to see this suffering, to use that experience to add more meaning to our life. So today, let's talk about how can we move through painful situations in life according to Buddhism. The Buddha gives a wonderful simile for this. The Buddha says, suppose they were to strike a man with a dart, and then they would strike him immediately afterwards with a second dart, so that the man would feel a feeling caused by two darts, two arrows. When the uninstructed worldling is being contacted by a painful feeling, he feels two feelings: bodily, physical feeling, and the mental feeling, or physical suffer and mental suffer. The reason why we worry in the face of this unavoidable suffering in our life is we expect a life without suffering. But life itself has the intrinsic nature and inherent nature of suffering and pain and unsatisfied nature. So, what Buddha teaches us is to see it as a part of life. Do not try to forget it. Do not try to run away from it. See it as a part of your life that always persists throughout your life. And the Buddha says that when an ordinary person goes through these feelings, to escape from this pain, what he does is he seeks delight in sensual pleasures. He chases behind sensual pleasures to distract himself. So that is the normal reaction, isn't it? Normally, when someone goes through a painful feeling, when someone goes through a difficult time in his life, they chase behind sensual pleasure to distract their brains, distract their mind from that pain. For an example, when someone is struggling in their life, if someone has pain in his mind, sometimes some people use alcohol. Some people distract them with alcohol. Some people distract them with sexual misconduct. Some people distract themselves with consuming more and more social media. These days, it is happening more and more. Okay. For an example, if you feel any pain in your life, just check your behavior. People use more and more social media. Why? To distract themselves with that pain, from that pain. But Buddha does not say that chasing behind the sensual pleasure is completely wrong. What Buddha says is that chasing behind sensual pleasure does not solve your problem completely. Why is that? So the more we chase behind sensual pleasure, the more we suffer because of the unsatisfied nature. So that is why the Buddha said, chasing behind sensual pleasure does not solve your problem completely. Why it does not solve the problem completely? Because whenever we are being struck by a miserable feeling or a painful feeling in life, now we need something material, an external source to distract ourselves all the time. Now, this does not help us to focus on ourselves and find the true nature of this problem and solve it once and forever. Okay, so that is why the Buddha said, chasing behind sensual pleasure will not completely solve your problem. Instead of chasing behind the sensual pleasure to distract ourselves, the Buddha says that look at the pain as a part of life that is unavoidable. And the Buddha says that pain is an inevitable condition in life, but worrying is an option that we choose. Worrying is always optional. So the Buddha used a special term to these ups and downs in life. He called it 8 worldly conditions. The Buddha said that these 8 worldly conditions prevails in this world every time. The Buddha says gain and loss, dispute and fame, blame and praise, and pleasure and pain. These 8 worldly conditions revolve around the world, and the world revolves around these 8 worldly conditions. So these 8 worldly conditions are like the two faces of the same coin. We cannot separate it. So the Buddha says that do not worry too much, more than needed, about these painful situations in life. Rather than worrying about it, we always have the choice to stay away from worrying, because pain is an inevitable condition, but worrying is an optional thing, is a choice that we make in our life. So keep this amazing sentence in your mind. Pain is inevitable, worrying is optional. Keep that in your mind and stay strong, stay safe. Namo Buddhaya.